Please repeat. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji Mataji, welcome to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Studies. So, let me share my screen. Today we are studying from 4th canto, chapter number 3. Yeah. Do you remember what was the title of last week's chapter?
Shiva.
Daksh curses. Daksh curses Lord Shiva. Yeah. Yeah. Daksh curse Lord Shiva. So in this chapter, today's chapter, the chapter is titled Conversation between Bhagwan Shiva and Mother Sati. Conversation between Shiva and Sati. And we will go in further detail, but we will take this verse. So here, Bhagwan Shiva is speaking to Mother Sati. Mother Sati is saying there is a Yagna Mahotsav happening at Daksha's house. Mother Sati wants to go there. As a daughter, she found out that the Yagna is happening, so she wants to go there. And Lord Shiva is telling her to not go there. And then in one of these verses that we're going to discuss, so Lord Shiva is telling Mother Sati that people who are envious, sometimes we go to people's house to attend or to go for the sake of going. But here Lord Shiva is telling Mother Sati to not go there. And he is describing the behavior of the people who are puffed up because of opulence, material opulence, and how they behave with the people who are exalted than them. Or in this instance, being specific, Lord Shiva is telling Mother Sati that people who are materially opulent, when they see others who are more respected in the society than them, because they are thinking at the body level, they are thinking about these material opulences, then they cannot match them. They cannot have the same achievement, but they become envious of them. Yeah. So that is what in this verse, Bhagavan Shiva is telling to Mother Sati to not to go there. So we'll discuss more details, but this is simple, you can say, Vyavharik. Matsarya, envious people, we should stay away from them. In Ramayana, it is said that Ko na kusang pai nasai rahe na neech mati chatu. Because Kekai was doing association of Manthara, who was envious. So what happened? Kusang, this is called, ku is bad. Sang means association. bad association. When you associate with envious people, then somehow or other, at any given point of time, because you are not alert all the time, eventually it will happen. So association, it's social thing. Sometimes we go and we see people who are opulent, we get impressed. We get impressed by their social opulence, right? Sometimes. So we have to be careful. Okay. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Papachamane Nahridaturindriyah. Papachamane Nahridaturindriyah. Samriddhibhipu Rushabudhi Sakshinam. Samriddhibhipu Rushabudhi Sakshinam. Akalp esham adhirudha anjasa. Akalp esham adhirudha anjasa. Param padam dveshti yatha suraharim. Param padam dveshti yatha suraharim. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. Word by word translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Papachyamanen. Burning. You know, when we say you eat something and you say you're feeling burning inside your stomach, similarly, apachya. You are not able to digest someone else's progress. This is that burning. Yeah, Hrida, in the heart, right? Heart is burning. Hrida tur indriya, and your senses are atur, anxiety, right? So, Hrida, with a heart, atur indriya, who is distressed, samriddhi bhi, by the pious reputation, etc. Purusha buddhi sakshinam, of those who are always absorbed in thought of the Supreme Lord. Akalpa, being unable. Esham, of those persons. Adhirodhum, to rise. Anjasa, quickly. Param, merely. Padam, to the standard. Dveshti, envy. Yatha, as much as. Asura, the demons. Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You know how demons, they are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees. Demons, they're always envious. They're always looking for fight. They're always trying to find faults, demoniac nature. So, and we all have these qualities. We all have these qualities. We are not, but the only point is through the association. That is the point I keep stressing. Association is very important. Through the sattvic association, it can be curtailed. Yeah? So the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki? Yeah. Please repeat. One who is conducted by false ego and thus always distressed, but both mentally and sensually cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized persons, being unable to rise to the standard of self-realization. He envies such persons as much as demons envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. So you all understand the meaning of the verse. Yeah. So this was the whole reason behind Daksh being upset with Lord Shiva. This was the ultimate manifestation. In Brahma Sabha, Daksh cursing Lord Shiva, that was the, as they say in material world, that was the last nail in the coffin. He was already envious because Lord Shiva is an ansh. He is an ansh of Supreme Personality of God. We are all, but Lord Shiva is very exalted. So Daksh was puffed up because of his opulence, but wherever he goes, when Lord Shiva comes, people stand up. People first pay obeisance to Lord Shiva, and Daksh is thinking, what is this? He's my son-in-law. He's junior to me. He doesn't have anything. Look at my clothes. Look at my opulence. So like this, that's very often seen. But that's the point we miss in the material and spiritual context. Yeah. In spiritual world, the more you fall, the more you rise. Right? So that is the point. The more you fall down, the more you rise in the spiritual. In the material context, it is different. That's why sometimes people who are trying to become a devotee, I won't say who are devotees, they struggle. Sometimes they struggle in their workplace because they're in the transitioning phase. They're not able to argue so much. They have to take the same mentality, switching from this to that. You go to workplace, you have to start finding faults. You have to, because you need to establish your position there. You need to protect your position there. You need to stand by your thing. But here, no, Prabhu, yes, my fault. No, Prabhu, I'm wrong. You're right. It's different. So we find it difficult. But again, association. Through the association works. Okay. So we all understand the meaning. Maybe one Prabhuji and one Mataji recite the verse once and then we discuss further. Who wants to recite? Yes, Prabhu. Papachamane nahridaturendriya samriddhi purusha buddhi sakshinam akalpa esham adhiruda anjasa param padam dveshti yatha sura harim. One Mataji. Try Mataji. That's fine. Oh, please try. Don't hesitate. Papachamane nahrida turendriya. Samriddhi purusha buddhi sakshina. Akalpa esha haridranjasa. Param padam dvesti yatha suraharim. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. Please hear. The real reason for the enmity between Lord Shiva and Daksha is explained here. Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva because of Shiva's high position as an incarnation of a quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because Shiva was directly in contact with the Super Soul and was therefore honored and given a better sitting place than he. There were many other reasons also. Daksh, being materially puffed up, could not tolerate the high position of Lord Shiva, so his anger at Lord Shiva's not standing up in his presence, was only the final manifestation of his envy. Lord Shiva is always in meditation and always perceives the super soul as expressed here by the words Purusha Buddhi Sakshina. Yeah. The position of one whose intelligence is always absorbed in meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very great and cannot be imitated by anyone, especially an ordinary person. When Daksh entered the arena of Yagna, Lord Shiva was in meditation and might not have seen Daksh enter, but Daksh took the opportunity to curse him because Daksh had maintained an envious attitude towards Lord Shiva for a long time. Those who are actually self-realized see every individual body as a temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Paramatma feature is residing in everyone's body. Paramatma is there. Yeah? When one offers respect to the body, it is not to the material body, but to the presence of the Supreme Lord. Thus, one who is always in meditation upon the Supreme Lord is always offering him obeisances. But since Daksh was not very elevated, he thought that obeisances were offered to the material body. And because Lord Shiva did not offer respect to his material body, Daksh became envious. Such persons, being unable to rise to the standard of the self-realized souls like Lord Shiva, are always envious. The example given here is very suitable. Asuras, demons or atheists are always envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They simply want to kill him. Even in this age, we find some so-called scholars commenting on Bhagavad Gita who are envious of Krishna. When Krishna says, Man manabhav mad bhakto, always think of me, become my devotee and surrender unto me, the so-called scholars comment that it is not to Krishna that we have to surrender. That is envy. Sometimes they say the person who is reciting, Krishna is saying surrender to him. Understand? So this is how they interpret the verse, the meaning of the verse. No, Krishna is not saying surrender. Krishna is saying, if I'm speaking the verse, you surrender to me. That's how they interpret. So envious of Krishna. Michael Jackson, when he was given the Krishna book, you see our Krishna book? You see the front cover? Radha Krishna is there. And he looked at the book and he says, who is this man with this woman? He said, I should be there with this woman. And then what happened? This is our envious. We see something and we say, oh, I should be there. You see someone exalted, someone being respected, we start thinking, I should be there, right? This is the human nature, human mentality. As the children, you see that. They see other person doing the same thing, they want to do the same thing as well. But children are innocent. But through this association, that is the whole point. We're telling each other that let's change that mentality. Yeah? So very important. This is very subtle. Envy is very subtle. The asuras or atheists, the demons without reason or cause, are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, instead of offering respect to self-realized persons, foolish men who cannot approach the highest standard of self-realization are always envious, although there is no reason. Sometimes you have seen people, they see a person who is higher than them. Just to belittle them, they will offer respect to somebody who is lower than that person. You would have experienced that, right? Someone else is sitting there, they won't offer respect to him. They will go to a junior person and dandvat to him to show their humbleness, but because of their envious, they want to avoid that person. This is the height. What can I do? Anyway, so let me stop sharing now and let's do Mangalacharan and then we will discuss further. Where are my slides? Click. Okay. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Savadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Nabandhu Jagatpate Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhuter Mahadbhir Yaima Puro Vibho Nirmaya Shete Yadamosha Purusha Bhungte Gunansho Dashasho Dashatmakam Solanka Srishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satat Pibatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvalok Rishi Dev Janma Prasannam Sarvalok Rishi Dev Janma Prasannam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Shirada Parthasarthi Bhagavan, decorate my tongue. May the right words come at the right time. May we are all truly able to serve Srila Prabhupada, all the Vaishnavas, Srila Gurudev, and all the living entities. Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Krishna. So this chapter is titled Talks between Lord Shiva and Sati. The last chapter we studied, it was Daksh cursed Lord Shiva. Why did Daksh curse Lord Shiva? Because as he entered the assembly, everybody stood up except Brahmaji and Lord Shiva, and they paid their respects to Daksh. Daksh was very unhappy about it. And before that, the question asked, or the topic was that Mother Sati did not have any children. So when Maitreji is talking about the children of the daughter of Manu Maharaj, when he spoke about Mother Sati did not have any children. And then Vidurji asked further question from Maitreji, and he asked that what happened between father-in-law and son-in-law. मैं जानना चाहता हूं. I want to know this, right? That what happened Vidveshastu yata prana tatyaje dustyajan sati. What happened? Why there was so much animosity between Jamatu Swashurasya? Jamatu is Jamai, son-in-law, and father-in-law. I want to know this. What was the reason that Mother Sati had to quit her body? And then he explained that in the assembly when Daksh entered, everybody stood up, paid their obeisances. Lord Shiva did not stand up, and then Daksh cursed Lord Shiva. He blasphemed him. He called him Markat Lochana, monkey-eyed. He called him, he is living in a crematorium. He doesn't wear clothes. He is wearing a garland of skulls, bones. And finally, he took water in his hand and cursed him, saying that he will not get his share of yagna. He will not get his share in the yagna ceremony. Sahabhagam na labtam dever dev gana adham. He is the lowest among the demigods. So he will not get his share of any sacrifice performed. And then he walked off the assembly. He walked off the assembly, then Lord Shiva also walked off the assembly. After Nandishwar cursed, and then Bhrigu Rishi also cursed, the followers of Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva left the assembly. Sa Bhagavan Tata Bhava Vichakrame. He left that assembly, Lord Shiva left the assembly. Now, Lord Shiva came back, and he did not tell this to Mother Sati. What had happened, Lord Shiva did not share with Mother Sati. And this happened long time ago. Now, in the meantime, there was another incident happened. If you remember that story that I told you, right? Lord Shiva and Mother Sati had gone to hear the Ram Katha from Agastya Rishi. And Mother Sati did not hear the Katha. She doubted Agastya Rishi, what kind of Katha will he tell us? Because Agastya Rishi, he washed Lord Shiva's feet. He offered Lord Shiva a higher position. And Mother Sati was thinking, what kind of Katha he will tell us? We have come to hear him, but he's washing the feet of Lord Shiva. Maybe he doesn't know. And then Lord Shiva heard Ram Katha from Agastya Rishi. Mother Sati was there, but she did not hear the Katha properly because she had already started doubting the speaker. And then Agastya Rishi asked from Lord Shiva how to perform devotional service. After speaking Ram Katha, he asked, Hari Bhaktis. Then Shambhu, Muni asked about Hari Bhakti, and then Kahi Sambhu Adhikari Pai. Lord Shiva thought he is the right person who should be told about the devotion service. Lord Shiva told him. Mother Satī was listening. She was present there, but she did not hear any of them. As soon as they came out of the ashram of Agastya Rishi, Lord Ram was in the forest. And as Mother Satī looked at Lord Ram, Lord Shiva paid his obeisances to Lord Ram. And Mother Satī said, why is he paying obeisances to this prince who is wandering in the forest crying for his wife? Lord Shiva called him Satchidanand. He addressed Lord Ram as Sat Chit Anand, who is always in the bliss. But he is crying, he is looking for his wife. Body level. Mother Satī is also thinking at the body level. She said, what kind of Satchidanand is he? Lord Ram is asking the leaves, asking the flowers, have you seen my Sita? Have you seen my Sita? He jumped into the water. He's asking the fish, have you seen my Sita? Have you? Mother Satī said he's gone mad. He's a prince. And then Mother Satī was doubting Lord Shiva could read her mind. Lord Shiva told her that you should not doubt. Abhi, just now we came, we heard Ram Katha from Agastya Rishi. I told him about devotional service to the Lord Ram. He is same Lord Ram, you should not doubt. But Mother Satī did not understand. She was doubting. See, this is how the downfall started. From where it started. Now she is going to go down, down, down. She did not hear the Katha properly. Now she is doubting. Another aprad. And then as she was doubting, then she wanted to test Lord Ram, whether he is a truly Lord or not. And then Mother Satī went to see Lord Ram in the forest. She went where Lord Ram and Lakshman were there. And what she did? She changed her outfit. She became Sita. She went in front of them as Sita. And Lakshman saw Mother Satī coming as Sita. He started laughing. He said, what has happened to Mother Satī? Why is she behaving like that? And as soon as she approached, she came close to Lord Ram. Then Lord Ram paid his obeisances to Mother Satī, who was in the disguise of Mother Sita. Lord Ram paid his obeisances. And Lord Ram told her about his name. Pitu Samet Leen Nij Nama. He told, I am Ram, I am son of Maharaj Dashrath. And Mother Satī said, see, I was saying he's a prince. Even in his introduction, he's saying he's prince. So first point, you say, first point she win. Kind of win in her own mind. She thought I was right. But then suddenly Ram asked Mother Satī, Kaho bahori kaha bris ketu bipin phirai akeli kehi hetu. Where is Lord Shiva? Why are you wandering in the forest alone without Lord Shiva? And then Mother Satī got fumbled. Then she's like, oh, what has happened? I'm looking like Sita. And then she just realized, oh, I have made a big mistake. And she started running back. She turned around and started going back. She did not say even a single word. As she turned around and looked back, she saw now Lord Ram, Mother Sita, and Lakshman standing. Three of them. She's like, what is happening? Then she ran even faster. Then she looked back. Now she see the whole Ram Darbar. Lord Ram is there, Mother Sita is there, Lakshman is there, Bharat, Shatrughan, Hanuman. She said, where have they come now? He was just wandering in the forest. Now whole Ram Darbar is there. She walked even faster. Then she looked back. As she looked back, this time sees Ram Darbar is there and all the demigods are standing there. Brahmaji is there. Demigods are showering the flowers from the skies. And in that assembly, she also sees Lord Shiva is also there. And she's like, oh, what have I done? And then she gets, comes where Lord Shiva was. And Lord Shiva asked, so have you taken the pariksha? She said, no, Kachuna Pariksha Leena Gosai, Keen Pranam Tumri Hinai. I did not take any test. I just paid my obeisances like you pay your obeisances. But Lord Shiva could see. He could see that she has made a mistake. And then Lord Shiva started thinking in his mind, because now that she changed herself as Sita, so now she's my mother. I cannot accept her as my wife. And he was so merciful, he's still thinking it is not her fault in that sense, but still Lord Shiva said, I have to, because she's Mother Sita is my mother. I cannot accept Mother Sati as my wife anymore in this body. And then Mother Sati, when Lord Shiva took that vow, then there were some from the heavenly, from the skies, there were some sounds came and they glorified Lord Shiva. They said, you are great. No one like you, Lord Shiva. And then Mother Sati asked Lord Shiva, what vow have you taken? Lord Shiva did not say anything. And as they reached back on Kailash, then Lord Shiva went into meditation for thousands and thousands of years. Now Mother Sati realized that I have made a mistake. Only out of kindness, Lord Shiva is not telling me. And now she was thinking, how do I quit this body? On the other hand, Daksha had cursed Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva did not tell this to Mother Sati. Now, one day, now on this side, Daksh, now let's come back to Daksh, his position. So now, Maitreya Rishi starts speaking to. First of all, I wanted to, talk. You will hear about Yagna, right? So this is the first verse of first chapter of Rig Veda on your right hand side. This is what we're saying. So when before any Yagna, I glorify Agni, reading the translation, I glorify Agni, the high priest of the sacrifice, the divine, the ministrant, who presents the oblation to the gods and is the possessor of great wealth. So we cannot, the purport of this verse will be like beyond our reach to talk about even a single word to, talk about it. But just at a high level, I wanted to, because you've been hearing about Yagna. Brahmaji was doing the Yagna. Now in this chapter, what happens is, now Daksh starts another sacrifice. That's why I thought we talked about it. Now what happened is, Maitreya Rishi tells Vidur that the animosity between Daksh and Lord Shiva continued. He says, Sada, always, right? Kalo vai dhriyamanayo. That dhriyamanayo as in continued, and with the time. And that call he's saying, Su mahan ati chakrame. That time was so powerful, but that animosity continued, right? The tension continued between Lord Shiva and Daksh Prajapati, right? Jamatu swaswarasyapi. Swashu. It continued with the time. As they say, it was like the situation could not be resolved. There was no opportunity because Daksha was envious. And then, as they say, the pride comes before fall. Daksha was further promoted. He, in the Brahma's assembly, last time we met His Holiness Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and there was a question that Maharaj, in that assembly, Daksha was cursing Lord Shiva. Brahma was there. Brahmaji, who is father of Daksha. All the exalted personalities were there. Why did not anybody tell Daksha, what are you doing? Reasonable? When father is sitting there and his son is blaspheming greatest Vaishnava Lord Shiva in that assembly, cursing, nobody said a single word. Rather, cursing, counter-cursing started in that assembly. So that was the question. And then that's what Maharaj said, that he knew, first of all, he knew that when somebody who is pride, somebody who is puffed up due to material opulence, if you try to give them advice, they can act against you as well. Maybe give them some time, wait for their time. So that's why Lord Brahma did not say anything to him, because he thought Daksh would even shout against Brahma himself. So Brahmaji kept quiet. And now in this chapter he says he is Prajapati Nam Sarvesham Adhipatte. He is made head of all the Prajapatis. Praja is in the living entities and Pati is in their master. He was made head of all the Prajapatis. And from that, he got puffed up. Samayo Bhavat. He became further puffed up. His pride increased. That's what happened with Daksh. And then Daksh started performing his own sacrifices now. In that assembly, that was Brahmaji's assembly. So he was performing sacrifices. He performed 2 sacrifices. And in those sacrifices, he invited everyone. Tasmin Brahma Rishya Deva Rishi Pitri Devata. Sarve. All. He invited all the Brahma Rishi, all the Dev Rishi, all the demigods, all the Pitris. He invited everyone except Lord Shiva. And the first yagna he performed was called Vajpayee Yagna. In the Vajpayee Yagna, it is said that, we won't go into that because that is not the topic, but just so you understand. So there are 3 main yagnas: Rasuya Yagna, Surya Yagna, and Vajpayee Yagna. Rasuya Yagna is performed by a king, Raja. Ashwamedh Yagna is performed by a king to become a Samrat, because then he's sending the horse in all the areas. And Vajpayee Yagna is performed by a king to prove himself superior within his brothers. And it continues for 17 days. Everything is 17. 17 ka akada. 17 number is very prominent. Everything is done like 17. Offering 17, yagna 17 days. I don't know all those, the details behind that. But just to give you some context. And in that, they have actually horse race, cart race. King will sit on that and he will defeat others. And then just to establish his supremacy. So he performed Vajpayee Yagna. And then after that, he was performing another yagna, which is called Brahaspati Sava Yagna. And now he is performing this yagna, and in this yagna, he invited everyone. Brahma Rishi, Dev Rishi, Pitri, Devata, everyone was invited except Lord Shiva. Now, one fine day, Mother Satī, when she was on the Kailash hill, she sees a lot of movement in the skies. She sees a lot of movement in the skies, and she sees demigods and so many exalted, all the Gandharvas, they are going in the sky. And she hears them. Tada upashrutya nabhasi. Right? Khecharanam prajalpata. Khecher means who travels by the sky. They are called Khecher. Putana was called Khechari because she was traveled by the air. So all the Khecharanam, all the people who were traveling in the skies, they were prajalpatam, they were talking among themselves. And Mother Satī heard them talk. Actually, this yagna was happening in Haridwar. There is a place called Kankhal. If you go to Haridwar, you can still find that place. It is a very prominent place there. There are many ashrams there and all of that. Yeah. And because they were going to Kankhal, if you visualize, so they were all passing from Kailash Hill. So they were coming from there, and Mother Satī could see their airplanes going there. So she saw them. And when she saw them going, she heard them talking, and she realized they are actually going to my father's place. And my father has organized a great sacrifice. Right? Then she became anxious. Out of anxiety, she went straight to Lord Shiva. Yeah. And she starts speaking to him. She starts talking to him. And she tells Lord Shiva that Prajapateste Swasurusya Yagna Mahotsava. Your Sasur, your father-in-law, who is a Prajapati, at his place there is a great sacrifice happening. Right? And all the Vibudha Vrajanti, all the Buddha means intelligent people, we is Vishesh Rups, specifically. All the demigods, all the rishis, all the Gandharvas, they are all going there. And we should also go there. So now up to this point, Lord Shiva hadn't spoken to Mother Sati about what happened in the assembly of Lord Brahma. He hadn't spoken about it. But Mother Sati now comes and she starts asking that we should also, Sati tries to convince Shiva to go to the sacrifice. Right? Now coming to this sacrifice, the translation, the reason I put it there, in sacrifice, they also call demigods, Devata, and there is a Yajman. Yajman is what? So who gives something, who gives first and he gets it back, right? So in this Ratna Dhartamam, the last word that you read here, right? So basically he's asking, give me the pearls of life, right? So you offer and then you accept. Devata also come, demigods. Devata, they first take and then give. You understand? Devata, they first take and then they give. Yajman first give and then get. And through the fire sacrifice. And in the fire, who is the actual fire? Who is the actual yagna? Is the Supreme Personality of God. Remember the verse, the last week that we discussed? Yeah. Yatre jay rishabho hari. Where Bhagwan Hari is glorified. That is why Te api vishwasrajas satram sahasra samvatsara. All the exalted personalities, they stayed there for thousands of years. Samvidhaya Maheshwasa. Samvidhaya, they performed the Yagna ceremony because Lord Hari was being glorified. So Lord Hari is the actual, right? In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, sorry, I'm just reinforcing this point about Yagna. In Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, verse number 24, Lord Krishna is telling Arjun, Aham hi sarva yagna nam bhokta cha prabhurevachan. Na tu mam abhijananti tattve na tas chavanti te. So what is Lord Krishna saying to Arjun is that I am the bhokta, I am the master of all the sacrifices. So what you are giving as a yajman, you are giving it to Vishnu. You are giving it to Lord Krishna. And he is the master. Now what you get returned back from is from Krishna only. Demigods are invited as exalted personalities. They come there to take their share. But Krishna is the master and the enjoyer of all the sacrifice. That's what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Na tu mam abhijananti. If you don't know me like this, Arjun, tattvena, in reality, tattva roop se, know me like this, that I am the master and I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. If you don't know this, na tu mam abhijanati tattvena tas chavanti te, you fall down. You will fall down if you don't know me like this, that I am the master of all the sacrifices. Now, Daksh Prajapati is performing all of these sacrifices. Downfall will come, right? So big sacrifices, inviting all the, sometimes similarly we get puffed up. People, you see people having big programs. They're talking about, I had 100 guests, I had 200 guests attended my program. But who are we glorifying? That is something we have to think about. Who are we going there as attendee to glorify? And who is host glorifying? Is host trying to glorify Krishna or someone else? Or you as an attendee is glorifying, going there to glorify Krishna? So ask that question. Don't just go there for the sake of going. Now we'll find out more about it. Okay. So that's just so we get our understanding right of the Yagna ceremony. So Mother Sati now sees them going and she goes to Lord Shiva and she tells Lord Shiva that let's please go and Swasurasyate, he's your father-in-law, he's having a great sacrifice, he's performing a great sacrifice. All the demigods are going there and we should also go there. I also want to go there with my husband. And she had seen from the air marg, from the Vayu marg, she also seen her sisters going there. She tells Lord Shiva, I see my sisters are also going there. My sisters are going there with their husband. Now she remember not to go alone, not to go without husband. She once tried to go without husband. What happened? So here Maitre is specifically calling out. She's saying, my sisters are also going with their husband. I also want to go there with you. They are wearing nice ornaments. I want to decorate myself and go there with you. Then she says that I want to go and meet. I will go, as if Shiva is asking, what you want to see there? She says, when I go there, I will see my mother. I will see my sisters. I will see my aunts, mother, sisters. And I will get to see all the relatives. And then as if Lord Shiva is asking, is that all? She says, no, I also want to go there, see the great sacrifice performed by the sages. I want to see that yagna sacrifice. Please, my dear husband, please take me there. And after speaking like this, then she tells him, Lord Shiva, then she tells Lord Shiva that I don't know much about this. She says, only you know about this whole universe. Tvai etad ascharyam. Right? This ascharyam, this whole creation, you know this. You know about this. It is created by Atma Maya, by the Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You know, my dear husband, you know about all of this. I don't know this because I'm Yoshid. I'm a woman. Tattva which, Atatvit. I don't know the Tattva. I don't know the reality. Dina, I am a humble servant. I want to go there. Please take me there so that I can see my birthplace once again. Right? And then she further continues. She says, when a ceremony is happening at a father's place, how will a daughter not be disturbed? How can a daughter remain undisturbed when a festive activities are happening at her father's place? And then she knows she's not invited. And then she also justifies, she says that even if not invited, there is no harm in going to father, to guru, and to friend's place uninvited. So I want to go there. Please take me there. And then she addresses Lord Shiva as Shiti Kantha. Shiti Kantha means blue throat. She says, you are so kind, my dear husband. Out of kindness to serve others, to be kind to others, you drank the poison. Now please show some kindness to me also. Right? And you have accepted me as your good half. So I deserve. Please oblige me. Yachita, I am asking you. Tanme prasidam idam amartaya vanchitam. So therefore, my dear Lord, please be pleased with me. Please be pleased with me and please take me there. I want to go there and see the sacrifice being performed by my father. Like this, she puts forward her arguments. So she tries to convince Lord Shiva. Now, Maitreya Rishi tells Vidurji that Lord Shiva heard what Mother Sati was asking. And then he smilingly started talking. And he remembered those harsh words that were spoken by Daksh in that assembly. Yan ah ho Vishwasrajam samakshata. In the presence of all the great personalities, what Daksha had said, Lord Shiva remembered, and he's smilingly speaking to Mother Sati about it. Now let's hear that, what Lord Shiva is saying. So he says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. So Lord Shiva tells her that we cannot go uninvited if the host is disturbed, angry, and finds fault with the guest. So what he's saying is that if they are puffed up, dosh drishtayo, if they are finding faults, and why they are finding faults? Because bali yasan anatamya madena manyuna. Because of the strong anger. Anatma means they don't consider this body as soul. They are considering this body as a body. As it is said, you are not soul. Anatamya. So out of material opulence, in that Maden, Manyuna, he was very angry. And that anger was very strong. So Lord Shiva says, yes, we can go uninvited. You said, my dear wife, we should go uninvited to father's place, to friend's place, to guru's place. But Lord Shiva says, but if, only if they are not finding the fault. Te yad anutpadita dosh drishtayo, by the strong anger, by the strong pride in their material opulence, if they don't find faults in you, only in that case, my dear wife, we can go to their place. And then as if Mother Sati starts speaking to Lord Shiva, no, my father must have spoken to you like that somewhere else, but he has wisdom. He's intelligent. He has been appointed the head of all the Prajapatis. And then Lord Shiva tells her that, yes, Vidya tapove tava purvaya kulai. These 6 things. These 6 things Lord Shiva is saying: Vidya, knowledge; tapo, austerity; with, paisa, right? Vidya, tapo, with; vapu, good body; vaya, youth, youthful body; and kulai, born in a great family, big family. All these, he says, satam gunai asattamai tarai. These are the good qualities of people who are in the sattvic mode. But if a neech admi, if a low mentality person who believes in the body, these 6 qualities become enemy for him. You can think about it. If you have these 6 qualities, they become your great strength. But if you have a different mentality, they become your great enemy as well. Think of having money. Think of born in a great family, right? In Damodar, we hear the katha of Nal Kuber and Manikriva. They were Kuber's son. What they did? Because they had access to all of those opulence things. So like this, they become an enemy also. So Lord Shiva is saying, yes, my dear wife, your father has a wisdom. But if these qualities are possessed in that person who is envious, then these become their enemy also. We cannot go there. And then as if Mother Sati then again put forward an argument. He says, even an unintelligent person will be friendly towards their children. Okay, I understand, my dear father, you saying, right? But even an unintelligent person will be kind to their children. Lord Shiva said, no. If they are very angry, if they are envious, right, they will not be kind to their children either. And they might speak harsh words to you. Then what will you do? So we should not go there. And then Mother Sati says, okay, if you don't go there, I will go alone. Yeah, I will go by myself. Right? So these are the 6 qualities. And then she says, I will go by myself. Then Lord Shiva says, if you go by yourself, because you are under my shelter, he is still burning. Paritapyate yata. Mad ashrata kaha. Ka is in Daksh. He is paritapyate. He is envious of me. He is burning because you are under my shelter. Right? And then even if you go alone, a person can bear the arrows of an enemy. If you are wounded by the arrows of the enemy, you may be able to sleep. But the harsh words, but if someone speaks harsh words to you, then day and night you will not be able to sleep. So my dear wife, I am not in favor of you going there. And then Mother Sati continues. Then she says, why you are so hostile against my father? And then today's verse. And then Lord Shiva speaks today's verse. Papa chamane na hrida turendriya. Samriddhi purushabodhi sakshina. Akalp esham adhirodu manjasa. Param padam dveshti yatha suraharim. So she's saying, you are being hostile to my father. And Lord Shiva says, no, I'm not being hostile to your father. Because people who are envious, people who are puffed up due to material opulence, what they do, they are not able to achieve the same exalted position of the people who are self-realized. Anjasa, they cannot. Adhirodum anjasa. Instead, then they are always burning inside their heart. And then Mother Sati says, okay, then why didn't you stand up in that assembly? You could have stood up and offered him respect. After all, he's your father-in-law. See, the argument still continues. And then Lord Shiva says, my dear good wife, in the normal behavior, when people greet each other, when people speak to each other, when people glorify each other, that glorification is happening at the body level. Right? That glorification is happening at the body level. And then Mother Sati asks, then what do you do? He says, Guha shayaye vana deh mani. Whereas me, my dear good wife, I am offering respect, obeisances to the Paramatma, to the super soul which is residing inside that person. I am not paying obeisances to the body level. Then she said, but why didn't you pay your obeisances to him? Why didn't you stand up? And then Lord Shiva said, I was actually in samadhi. I was in trance at the time. And then she said, trance? What was the trance? And then Lord Shiva speaks. So this is sometimes people have different opinion that who is Lord Shiva worshipping? Who is superior? But here Lord Shiva himself is saying, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam Yad Iyate Tatra Puman Apavrita Sattve cha tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo Hiyadhokshajo me namsa vidhiyate. He says, my dear good wife, I was absorbed in the thoughts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I was thinking about his lotus feet. And that itself should be a great respect to Daksha. Because that super soul is inside his heart. And I'm thinking of the lotus feet of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is that not respect to him? Indirectly? And then on this verse, then he clarifies. He says, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. Vishuddha Sattva. We speak of three gunas. Rajogun, Tamogun, and Sattvagun. And above Sattvagun is called Vishuddha Sattva. That's what Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Right? Rise above these three gunas. So when you are in the Vishuddha Sattva, that's what Lord Shiva is saying. That's what is called Vasudev. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. And when we are in that Vishuddha Sattva, Yad Iyate Tatra Puman Apavrita, that's where the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself. And that's where Sattve Chatasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo. So who is Vasudev's son? Vasudeva. You understand? Vasudev will appear as a son to Vasudev. So when we are in that Vasudev state of mind, that's where the Supreme Personality of Godhead will manifest. You understand? So that's what Lord Shiva is saying. I'm always absorbed in that. And in that Vasudev Vishuddham, Namsa Vidhiyate, that Adhoksha, that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is beyond the material senses, I'm always paying my obeisances to him. And now Lord Shiva tells Mother Sati, you should not go there. you should not go to Daksha's house. Because he is a fault finder, he is envious of you. His supporters, him and his supporters, they are envious of me. Daksha spoke harsh words to me and I'm innocent. So you should not go there. And then Mother Sati says, what if I still go there? Then Bhagavan Shiv tells Mother Sati, Vrijeshayasya ahitaya madvacho bhadram bhavatya natato bhavishyati sambhavitasya swajanat parabhavo. So what he's saying is that, my dear good wife, if you ignore my instructions, and you still go there, bhadram bhavitya natato bhavishyati, you will not be respected in that assembly. Right? And sambhavitasya, somebody who is greatly respected, swajanat parabhavo, if that person is disrespected by their own people, swajanat, so-called swajan, then what happens? Sada sadyo maranaya kalpate. It is as good as meeting your death. I know you have got birth from Daksha. Dehkrad. Dehkrad is you got body from his body. But the other meaning of Dehkrad is also cutting the body. Maybe Lord Shiva is speaking about the future. He says, yes, you have got this body from him, but please don't go there. And if you still go there, then it will result in the maranaya kalpate. It will, because you will not be respected by your own people. Swajanat, for them who you are trying to. Right? So now the point that I want to highlight is, Prabhuji Mataji, like in the beginning, we were talking about the sacrifices. So sacrifices for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So let's think a little bit more about the thought process of how Mother Sati is thinking before going to the sacrifice. She has said, I want to go to the sacrifice like the other women have decorated themselves. I want to decorate myself. I want to go with you. I want to wear nice ornaments and I want to go to that sacrifice with you. So she's still thinking at the body level. She's not at all saying, I want to go there in that sacrifice to glorify Lord Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu will be glorified there. That is why Lord Shiva has, if somebody asks, why didn't Lord Shiva allow her to go to the yagna ceremony? Somebody might say that, there is a yagna happening. After all, they are inviting all the demigods. And actually, Vishnu is also going there. Lord Vishnu is also going there. Brahma is also going there. Everybody is going there. Something to think about, because all the arguments that Mother Sati has put forward, in all the arguments she's saying, I want to see my birthplace. I want to meet my aunties. I want to meet my sisters. I want to meet other people. Just one place she is saying, I want to see the sacrifice. I will be able to see the sacrifice performed by great sages. Yeah. So this is something to think about when we are going on a pilgrimage, when we are going to a spiritual activity. What mentality are we taking? Then this will result in that, right? So that's how we need to think about it. We still got 10 minutes. This was a very small chapter. Oh, I didn't change these points. I just spent talking through them. So yeah, ignoring my words will lead you to your misfortune. Yeah. We will talk about what happened in the next. But speaking of the respect, once Srila Prabhupada was invited in Paris, the devotees there had set up a center there, and they wanted to invite Prabhupada to attend to meet, because preaching, always nice to have your founder Acharya coming and giving association, and so they invited Srila Prabhupada, and they were hosting the program it was called Town Hall. in the main city center in Paris. And there is a custom there in Paris. They were inviting the mayor also because it was going to be good publicity. But there is one condition. When the mayor comes, then everybody has to stand up. When mayor comes, then everybody sitting there has to stand up. And now devotees, because they were keen disciples, they wanted Srila Prabhupada to come. And when Srila Prabhupada came, they briefed Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, they knew Prabhupada's mood. So they said, Prabhupada, there is one little thing. He said, what is this? Prabhupada, when mayor comes, we have to stand up. He said, what? I have to stand up? For a materialistic person? And then the conversation did not go much. They knew that, they thought Prabhupada has heard it, but they had already made all the arrangements. So nothing can be changed now. And the council people had told our organizing team that please ask your master, your spiritual master, that he should do this. Now program started. The mayor came. With the mayor, they had all the, all the arrangements, all the officials came, and mayor came and stood there. And everybody's looking at Prabhupada. Everybody stood up except Prabhupada. Prabhupada kept sitting there. Everybody looking at Prabhupada. The mayor is looking at Prabhupada as if he will stand up. Prabhupada just ignored him. He did not. Yeah. So finally, he did not stand up at all. He did not stand up at all in that. And he said, why should I stand up for a materialistic person when he's coming? I'm just sharing with you, it's a pastime. There is no need to overanalyze this. But I'm just telling you the mood of an exalted person. Don't try to imitate anyone, whoever is online or whoever hears this. I'm already saying that, because sometimes we imitate, oh, Prabhu, I'm paying obeisances to the Paramatma inside you. No, our level is not that. So don't try to imitate Lord Shiva or these customs. We should still do our customary things, but we should be genuine also. So that's another aspect of it. So many times we are accustomed to writing your servant, your humble servant. We send big emails, big messages, but just a little bit of inconvenience, then all the humbleness goes out. Right? So we change so quickly. But yeah, so it's very important point to understand. I think the yagna, like I said, the sacrifice. What is the purpose of sacrifice? Let's understand that. Who is the real enjoyer of the sacrifice? Who is the master of the sacrifice? Yeah. Then in Kali Yuga, it is very hard to find a real person who can perform, because this first verse of Rig Veda that I put there, it has many. You say Purohitam Yagnasya. Yeah. Then Ritvijam. So you have to call the fire. Then there is a Purohit. And there is somebody who is presiding the yagna. And then he's instructing other people who are performing the yagna. So there are a lot of, things involved in performing the yagna, right? A lot of opulent ceremonies that they perform. But the point is, now it's very hard to find a qualified Brahman, qualified people. That is why in Kali Yuga, the best yagna is to chant the holy name. Yeah? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll stop here now. And so this is the conversation between Lord Shiva and Mother Sati. Next chapter, we will discuss. Mother Sati actually does go to the yagna, and then what happens there. So we'll discuss that.